This is a short video on introductions and conclusions that is in congruence with the APA Publication Manual, the 7th edition. Some of the content in this video is adapted from the Center for Academic Communication from the University of Victoria. So, when you're writing your introduction, an introduction provides the direction of your writing to your reader, as well as engaging the reader to want to read more, and it provides an outline for the information you're going to cover. So, when you're writing an introduction, there are 5 components that you might need to consider placing in your introduction. First is context. We need the learner to understand the topic and maybe what others or a debate has been shared about the topic so they understand why you're conducting the research that you are. Second is the purpose and significance. This is a place where you can put your research questions and also provides the reader with the understanding of why you're conducting this study. Next is a thesis statement. Then methodology and also an outline. So all of these components put together will make an introduction that will allow for you to explain to the reader what are you writing on, why, and also how are you going to do that. So let's look at an example. Here is a sample introduction based off of an academic writing piece on global warming. So first, we have a hook. This is what is engaging the reader to continue to read more. Then, we have context. It provides an area to where the learner understands why we are doing this study and also what others have said. This one in particular provides a debate. It looks at former opinions and thoughts on this topic and then correlates it to what we are going to be writing on here. Then we have the purpose and significance, and finally we have our thesis statement. So, in terms of writing an introduction, we want to allow ourselves time to write an introduction after we've conducted the research. Sometimes if we write the introduction first, it might not be as complete as we'd like for it to be. Also, use the introduction as an opportunity to urge others to read your work. Again, you're trying to engage them and encourage them to continue to read. Again, using the hook statement at the beginning. And clarity is essential, and it definitely is a priority in the introduction. We do not want to confuse the reader, but we want to be clear and concise in our introductions. Next, let's look at conclusions. Conclusions recap the main points of your research or your writing, but allow for more synthesis. It's not just a simple summary of what you've written before. Predict what is next. Maybe you look and see what could happen in the future with this information or other studies. Also, connect future work or the opportunity for further research with the current research that you've conducted. Try and answer the questions that the reader might have. They might be reading your information saying, "So what? I don't understand why this is important." Try to engage the reader and answer their questions before they ask them. Also, recognize the limitation of your writing. If you had specific limitations in your research, identify those. Call those out so that you can see that in future research, those could be addressed and your research could be more complete. So here's an example. Here, we start off with the summary of the main points, and then we end with significance, further direction, and also identifying some of the limitations that was done in the writing.